Hello everybody, Maven here. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 build video. Today we are talking about the super spam build. If you look at the background gameplay, we are casting a bubble approximately every 20 seconds. And this is based around the exotics, the Doom, Fang, Pauldrons. If you like playing support, if you like helping the team and making a bunch of orbs of power for your teammates, this is going to be the build for you. And something funny about this background gameplay is that we didn't even have 100 intellect in these clips. I only had 6. Yet we still cast bubbles this frequently. And another cool screenshot, if you take a look here, I did a random strike with some blueberry. I made 39 orbs because I cast 13 bubbles in this one strike. They made 1, the average. So yeah, it's pretty effective. So stay tuned for the full build breakdown, but first, if you are new here and you enjoy Destiny 2 weapon reviews and crazy PvP and PvE builds like this one, then make sure to subscribe. We do this all the time here. And with that, let's break down the build. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so here's the overview of my character, and I just gotta start this off by saying this fashion is beautiful. This Doomfang plate chest piece is currently available at the Eververse, and it is meant to be paired with the Doomfang Pauldrons, and this video is not sponsored by the Eververse, sadly. So anyways, here is a quick screenshot of my aspects and fragments. So as mentioned, this build is based around the Doomfang Pauldrons. It says that Void Melee Final Blows will give you super energy. And how much super energy? We'll just take a look at the gameplay. It is a ridiculous amount of super energy. And on top of that, we're running Echo of Reprisal as his Final Blows while surrounded by combatants grants super energy. And that's going to be most of the time when we go in for a shield bash. And then on top of that, again, we are running hands-on on our helmet. So we get additional super energy from melee final blows. So we're stacking 3 different things to give us super energy with melees. And now I gotta mention something that is potentially unintended by Bungie, and this works on Void, Solar, and Arc. But the offensive bulwark aspect says that while you have an overshield, your melee damage is doubled, which is crazy and why we're running 1-2 punch. Also says that melee final blows extend the duration of your overshield, and we're getting that overshield via bastion aspect. So when we put down our barricade, we get that overshield, and we're running the quick charging rally barricade. Anyways, when you have offensive bulwark active, your uncharged melees will count as void melees and trigger melee wellmaker, making void elemental wells on uncharged melee final blows. So that is a handy tip to know. So we are running 2 copies of Melee Wellmaker and a copy of Bountiful Wells. So we go in for a Shield Bash and we are making 3 Void Elemental Wells, which help all of our ability cooldowns. And then here is the icing on the cake. We are running Elemental Charge. So we pick up one of those Void Elemental Wells and we get 2 stacks of Charge with Light, and we're expending those Charge with Light stacks via the mod Heavy Handed. So when we go in for a charged melee ability, we consume 1 stack of Charge with Light and instantly regain half of our melee energy. So we go in for the shield bash, we regain half of our melee energy, we make 3 wells, and just like that, our melee charge is pretty much at around 90% charge at all times, which is why you see in the gameplay that we are just spamming shield bash everywhere. But since it only puts us to about 90% of our melee energy, we have to find a way to top it off up to 100. So we have a few ways to do that. The first of which is going to be a double outreach on our class item. So we simply put down our barricade, it'll top off our melee. Another way is by throwing a grenade, because we're running a copy of Momentum Transfer as well as a copy of Echo of Provision. They say that damaging a target with a grenade will grant some melee energy. So that'll top off our melee energy. And then the final way, if you happen to not have your grenade or your barricade charge, you can just use a weapon with the Pugilist perk, or you can use the Monte Carlo exotic auto rifle, which I was using before and you saw it in the intro gameplay. However, I did replace it in favor of a Pugilist weapon because I preferred that more. So the Pugilist perk will refund some melee energy on final blows. That'll be 10% energy for primaries and heavies, and it will be 20% for all specials that are not trace rifles. So my primary choice ended up being the Blood Feud SMG, which is craftable, and you can craft it with Pugilist and Swashbuckler. That is an amazing role for this build, because not only are you getting that melee energy back, but when you go in for a shield dash and kill and add, you're getting ×5 Swashbuckler, granting plus 33% damage to your weapon and making it shred stuff. And then for our special weapon of choice, I'm using the Xena class with auto-loading holster and 1-2 punch. You can use anything with 1-2 punch really, but I just highly recommend that you use something with 1-2 punch. It is pretty much required for this build, because with offensive bulwark doubling your melee damage and you going for that 1-2 punch, it is a nuke. It hits harder than 2 rockets put together. And then speaking of 2 rockets put together, my heaviest choice with this build is the Gallarhorn, because why the heck not? It's a Gallarhorn and we got a free exotic slot. And if you happen to need to run weapons for champions, you can simply just remove the momentum transfer from your gloves and put on whatever champion mods you need, and you can replace your blood fluid and your Gallarhorn. But do not, and I repeat, do not take off the 1-2 punch shotgun. That thing is an absolute nuke. It'll kill anything that is not a boss in pretty much one shot. So if you take a look at my stats here, I have 100 resilience and strength, and then we only have 6 intellect. I couldn't go any higher than 6, unfortunately. If you can go triple hundreds in those stats, that would be ideal. 7 is the sweet spot for intellect. You really don't have to go beyond that if you don't need to, but I would highly recommend the 100 strength and resilience. And now you may have also noticed that I'm spamming grenades quite frequently, despite the fact that I only have 3 discipline, and the way that we're doing that is a fragment called Echo of Reprisal. This is melee final blows, grant grenade energy, and we're spamming those shield bashes, so we're getting a ton of grenade energy, and then on top of that, those void elemental wells really help. So anyways, that is going to do it for the build breakdown. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I highly recommend giving this build a try. It is a ton of fun. It's a beast. I love it in Gambit. I used to use this as my main Gambit build over a year ago. I thought I'd bring it out of the shadows and show it to you guys because it's so cool, and I'm definitely going to start using it again. It's just insane to me that things like Fang, Pauldron go completely under the radar. But I think we all know why. It's because Heart of Inmost Light is taking the thunder from every other possible build. But again, if you are a support player, you love to help your team out, this is a build that you should use. And as always, if you have any ideas on how to improve upon this build, feel free to share your ideas in the comments, and I will leave a dim link to this build in the description and in the pinned comment if you want to try it out for yourself. So that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and drop a comment. Those 2 actions really help the algorithm and the video's performance. And if you got any buddies who are PvE Titan mains, I'd appreciate it if you share this video with them. I'm sure they find it useful. And if you are new, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.